Hello everybody, I'm filming a really quick video to show the Nolty planner that I bought recently. I've never had one before, but I'd seen them around and I wanted to give them a go, so I thought I'd grab one. So this is the Nolty Japanese brand. Quite a big brand actually. There's loads and loads of different versions of Nolty you can buy. And what I'll do is I'll link the website below. Obviously it'll be in Japanese, but if you have Google Translate activated on your browser, you should be able to kind of work out what's going on. Because there are so many sizes, I couldn't possibly explain all of them. And it's quite handy on their website actually. They give you a chance to look by size. So if you want a specific size, you can click on that section and it will show you everything in that size. So this size, I think there's only two in this particular format. And it's described on the website as, I think, A4 divided by 3. Which I think what they mean is, like, if you have a piece of A4 paper and then you divided it in 3, you'd get this size. It's not exactly that size, I have to say, but yeah, it's a vertical planner. Although before I open it up, actually, I wanted to show the size comparison. And I can give you the measurements in centimetres because I don't have any inch rulers in Japan because everything's in centimetres. But it's basically just under or just over 12 centimetres, so like 12 and nearly a half. And then 22 centimetres tall. And obviously this is the outside cover, which I think you can take off. So you can take it off. So the actual book itself is less than 12 centimetres, 11.7 centimetres wide and 21.1 centimetres tall. But if you're a visual person like me and you're useless at remembering numbers, I thought I would just kind of put a few other popular notebooks next to it so that you can sort of see. Sorry about my squeaky chair. See the size. So here we are. This is the Hobonichi Cousin. So this is an A5. So you can see it is actually in the jacket. It's a little bit taller. I can't get it all on the screen. Sorry. Or can I? I can just about. It's a little bit taller. So it's about, if I line it up at the bottom, it's like almost a centimetre taller in the jacket. And the paper itself is just a 3 millimeters taller. And obviously it's narrower. Because in theory A5 should be half A4. Yeah? And this one is advertised as a third of A4, but it's not, I don't think. It's slightly wider. So yeah, that's it with the Hobonichi Cousin. And obviously that's it with the teeny tiny A6 notebook. And this is with a Weeks. This is my Weeks from last year. So obviously it's bigger than a Weeks, if that's what you have. That kind of size. And I just grabbed a personal Filofax for those of you that use these. So it's obviously much bigger than personal. And then obviously the closest one I could find was Traveller's Notebook Regular. So actually, when you take, if you ignore the cover of the Nolty, the Listy, when you just measure the paper, there's literally 2 millimeters at the top, but you've got like, I don't know, where's my ruler gone? You've got like 7 millimeters wide, because when I saw this on Instagram, a Japanese user had it actually in a traveller's notebook, but she said it basically it's wider. It is wider, so it will stick out. So I'm just going to try with the cover, even though I know it's going to stick out. Yeah, so you can see inside, or can you see? The sunlight's a bit dodgy. You can see here where the label is still on. Yeah, it sticks out that much. But if one were to take it out of the cover, which I assume is what she had done, because this is like a vinyl It's quite nice, and it's faux leather, it's plastic, it's a vinyl cover. It feels nice. If you took it out, so it's like completely nude, it's got like some code there, and you put that in, it's basically, yeah, it sticks out, it still sticks out a little bit. So if you weren't bothered about things sticking out, you could probably squeeze one in, a regular. I'm not an expert on all the different formats of notebooks you can get leather covers for, because I don't actually have any except for the original Traveller's notebooks. So I don't know if any of the big sellers in America sell a cover that would fit, whether there's like a format perhaps, hang on, let me think, B5 wide? Does anybody sell a cover? I have no idea. Don't quote me on it, but there may be a size that is like, I suppose, wider than this, and perhaps a bit taller, but yeah. If you know of a size that is wider than this, do let me know in the comments, because it might be useful to somebody. So, I'm looking at my camera now, and I think, oh no, I've still got a bit of time left. So this particular model is called Listy number 1, and it cost just under 2,000 yen, which is probably just under $20 US dollars, I guess. And I haven't actually had a proper look inside, so this is the first time. Oh, I think most people that buy this, like, I think you can probably get it on Amazon. I think a lot of people call it the Nolty 6501. Perhaps you can search for it that way rather than trying to type in the Japanese. There are, I think there's a few colours. There's like blue and red, and then black. But there are some Loft special edition covers, I think, in some really nice colours. But I don't have a Loft near me, so I just went for black. So in terms of the binding, I think it might... It's hard to tell if it's just glued. If it's just glued or sewn. Because obviously the good thing about the Hobonichis is that they are sewn, so you can make it flat. It's actually, it's not too bad actually. I think you could probably train this flat. It's not too bad. It doesn't pop up too much. Because that's something that really annoys me about a lot of planners, is that they don't lie flat. So got the first page there. So you actually have 4 annual calendars, which I really like. I appreciate that actually. Although one of them was last year, but never mind. So you've got obviously that would be the previous year, and then you've got the current year, the following year, and then the year after that. And you actually have some notes spaced down here with very faint lines. Starting on a Monday, all of this calendar is. So you can see that the year and the month is all English, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is all in the characters, the Japanese characters, and they only have red for Sunday, and then red for national holidays, in Japan obviously. Next page is a yearly plan. So this is a little similar to the Hobonichi one. Yeah. So yeah, that could be useful. And then we go into the monthly spreads, and I really like the layout, and I really like the font, and it's very clean and very simple. So again, you do have the month in English and the number, but you also, on this page, you have Monday, Tuesday. You have the days in English as well. It's gridded, so let's see how big the grid is. Oh my lord, I think it's 3.5. So 3.5 is actually the same as Hobonichi. So this is the same size grid as on the Hobonichi weeks, sorry. I think each planner has different size grids, so yes, so if you have a Hobonichi, the grid in the A6 original is a bit bigger, it's 4. So the grid in here is the same as in the, excuse me, the Hobonichi weeks. if that is of use for anybody. So yeah, you have a space down here for like if you want to put any notes. It tells you the week number, so week 48, week 49, and then you have a little bit of space down here. And I think I found a video, I'll link it below. Somebody saying that they like the grid, the calendar layout on here. Yukiko Sakamura, I think. They like the calendar layout because it's all the same height. Even if you get like these random little extra days that kind of sit on the bottom, it's still given the same amount of space. Because I think in the Hobonichi or Cousin it didn't. It had like a squished row down the bottom. So it starts in December 2019, and then you have January through to, all the way through to March 2021. And that's presumably because the school term, the school year, the sort of academic calendar starts in April in Japan. So they might as well give you to March, so they do. Yeah, so it does lay flat, look, if you sort of get it used to it. So it goes up to March 2021 on that calendar. And then we have weeklies, vertical. So I never managed to make, I'm just going to sit down so my chair will squeak again. Okay, I've never managed to make vertical work previously, but for some reason I wanted to try again. I think the reason I think this might work for me this time is because it's not just vertical. Like you get a lot of other space along the bottom and down the side, and I just like the layout of this. I like the colour, like I said before. It's really simple, it's really basic. So I'm just going to give it a go. And the rest, basically, the rest of the, all the way up to the end, it's only weekly verticals. So in this one, you get from 25th of November, which is actually the week that December starts. So they're sort of going from the start of December basically, but they've obviously included these November days because they're on the same week. Up until the week that starts in January 2021. So you don't get up to like March in the weeklies, just to the end of the year. And the end of the year next year is going to be on a Thursday, so you get 3 days of January, which is fine. I don't need any extra weeklies for forward planning. So the week pages, you have English, November, December, you have the week number, week 48, you have English, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You've got ditty little calendar down here, which actually shows, I guess, the current month and then the previous and the forward month, the month coming. To be honest, I never use these ditty calendars, ever, hardly ever. But they're there. Everything, there's like a grey block along the top, very faint grey, and a grey one along the bottom. And it's hourly, but it marks the half hours. So, hang on. If you can see, yeah. So it looks like it starts at, the actual numbering starts at 6:30, and it goes through to 10 p.m. So, but because it gives you a space at the top and then all the space at the bottom, if you really wanted to have, extra beyond 10 o'clock, you could. And if you wanted anything before 6:30, you could put it there. So 6:36, 5:35, 4:34. So you could start at 3:30. So there's not enough space for 24 hours, but, that's what you get. That's all I can say. Yeah, so that's the weekly spread. There's a faint line here, which is going, very, very faint red line through midday, next to the 12. So that gives you a good visual reminder where the middle of the day is there. And it does have, on the side, if you can see, it's got the month. And so there's January, there's February, there's March. Now I really like this because, I mean, you can sort of see the dots along the edge. I like it because I can't get on with tabs. I keep trying them because I think they look nice, but they sort of irritate me and they get bent. And then, I don't know, they get all smooshed and I don't like it. But they're obviously really useful for what they're intended for finding the right month. But I think with this one, it makes it easy because you can lift it up and you can be like, okay, I want to find June. Yeah, I go like this and I just go, as I flick, I can really clearly see those numbers. So I know when to stop. So that's really, really good. I really like that. So yeah, those are the weeklies. Excuse me. And then after the weeklies, you get notepaper. So again, with the same grid, you get a line across the top. So you could put a title there if you wanted. You've got like a space. And then it's counting, if you look down the side, there's a dot every 5 squares. So if you want to measure it, draw out a grid, you can easily count every 5. All the way down the side and all the way along the bottom. So you've got note pages. And then at the back, what have we got here? Railway maps, which I'm never going to use probably, because I expect they're Tokyo. Yeah, that's Tokyo. Kyoto, is that? I have no idea, I can't read it. Subway maps, Osaka, random places. We don't have a subway here, so that's actually quite a minimal amount of information pages. So simply 1 railway map, 2 railway map, 3 pages, and they're quite good quality. So they'd actually probably be quite useful if you were able to read them. And then at the back you have a chronology, which is, you know, in all planners you normally get like a page with like this one here. This is in the weeks, isn't it? And this probably confuses people because you have the Japanese year, then you have the Gregorian calendar year, then you have how old the person would be if they were born in that year, and then you have the zodiac, the Chinese but now Japanese adopted zodiac. So you get those in most planners, and in this one it's the same. You get the Japanese year, you get the Western, I suppose, year, you get how old they would be, you get the zodiac, but then they've also got like a significant thing that happened, I guess, that year. Oh god, like wars, oh god, and big sporting events. So for example, I mean, I think, somebody can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that just says it's the new emperor, so it's a new era. That's like Olympics, but not obviously the full Olympic. Must be the, what they called, Winter Olympic. So yeah, just like random events. So that's fine. Like that's all I need. Like I never look like in here. They're all empty. I never do anything with them personally. They're nice, but I sometimes use this one because I'm like, oh god, how old am I again? How old's my husband? Can't remember. So sometimes I will like look at that quickly. Of like we often forget when we're filling out forms, okay, which year, Japanese year, were we born in, and then we have to look that up. So we sometimes use that, but mostly not. So that's fine, really. That's really like super minimal. There's a space at the back to put your name and address, which they've done in English. You've got actually a ruler here, I've just noticed, if you need to measure anything. That's handy. And that's about it, folks. So let's see how it goes. Let's see if I use it. I do have plans for this, to try and schedule, bookmarks, sorry. Two bookmarks. You have a grey and a very bright sort of sunflower yellow. That's good. I might use them, I might not. We'll see how it goes. I'll probably do an update if I remember. But yeah, that's the Nolty. So obviously I can't comment on any other brand, any other Nolty books. They all come in completely different formats. But do check out the website. Even if you can't understand what the words are, you can sort of have a browse around, clicking randomly. And if you see one you like, what I would recommend is if you type in, if you go to amazon.co.jp, if you have an account, because they do deliver to international addresses, what I can do is I'll write in the comment box below, I can write down, so this is obviously Nolty in English, but if you want I can write Noruti in Japanese, so you can copy and paste that, and all then you would need to do is put that and then 2020 into amazon.co.jp, and you could see if there's any that you can get hold of. I think they all have numbers, so it might be easy to search by the number if you see one on their website that you like. So I think that's all I can think of to say that's helpful. That's about it, really. So I hope this was useful, and I'll try and make another video sooner rather than later. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye bye.